Hey YouTube, it's me, Miss Panda, coming at you today with another little quick video. Miss Panda Talk Time is a channel that talks about a variety of topics ranging from celebrity gossip to YouTube drama. Today I want to talk about another YouTuber from the mommy sector of YouTube, and her name is Keisha Kaylee. Keisha and a group of her friends decided to rent a hotel room for a content creators weekend. But first, before we get into that, let's discuss the beginning scene where her and her daughters were talking about products from a company that she was being sponsored by. If you wish to know the name of the company that she was being endorsed by, then you'll have to go over to her channel and watch the video. I think it's called Content Creators Weekend, because I'm not giving out no freebies over here. They got to pay me to mention their company on this channel. So her and her girls were doing a product review on pre-made, pre-packaged meals and smoothies. I guess it works for her busy lifestyle because she's running multiple businesses and running a YouTube channel and raising kids. She has a hair company. I think she sells clothes, and she just does a lot of different things like sponsorships and just different things. She's like a real go-getter and real hustler. Me personally, I prefer to cook my own food because it's more healthy, and plus I know what ingredients are going into me and my family's food. But anyway, she has to do what works for her and her family. So basically, she allowed the girls and Jeremy. I don't really like Jeremy, but anyway, that's a different story for a separate video. She allowed them to try some of the smoothies. I think it was a strawberry banana smoothie and a chicken pasta meal with like some type of chicken pasta and sauce with sun-dried tomatoes. In the next scene, Keisha was at a hotel room that her and her friends had booked for the Content Creators Weekend, and she gave us a tour of the hotel room. The hotel room was beautiful. She has very, very impeccable taste when it comes down to picking out different little hotel rooms and Airbnbs and spaces and stuff like that. It was really beautiful. It had an open floor plan because I love an open floor plan because it makes everything look open and airy and not cluttered looking. I can't stand clutter. I mean, it had beautiful fixtures and beautiful art pieces. It was just beautiful in there, and had a balcony, and it was like in a high-rise building. It was just so upscale and really, really nice. Like, she has really, really, really good taste. So after she gave us the room tour, her friends began to arrive at the hotel room, and they decided to take vodka infused whip shots just to get the party started or whatever. So all of her friends, they were from like different backgrounds, but they all had YouTube in common, and they were all beautiful, strong Black women. So they decided to play a game of truth or drink. Keisha decided that she wasn't going to really do too much drinking because she decided that she wasn't going to stay the entire night. She was going to go back home to Jeremy and the girls. So the first question that was asked was they had to name the person that they had had sex with that laid the best pipe in their opinion. So each of the women went around the room and each of them named who they felt laid the best pipe in their opinion. So for those of you that don't know what truth or drink is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a game where you drink and then you go around the room and you basically you can have as many people as you want to play this game, and you write down questions and you put it on a piece of paper, and then you either put it inside of a hat or you put it inside of a glass jar, and then you just pull one, and one person gets chosen to just ask the question, and then you just decide whether or not you want to tell the truth, which sometimes it could be a very, very personal question, or just take a drink so that the way you can keep your business to yourself. Okay, but me personally, I personally probably would just take the shot because I don't really like people in my business like that. I don't like discussing the details of my relationship business, especially not my sex life, not with other women, because a lot of times they'll use that type of stuff against you, or they'll attack you with it later on down the line. It's none of nobody's business what goes on between me and my husband in our bedroom, and that's just the bottom line. That's how you get your man took. But in Keisha's case, she doesn't really have to worry about that because Jeremy is for the streets anyway. That man can't stay faithful to save his life. He's always cheating on her. But that's just her. She always takes him back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So the next question she asked was, did you ever lick a guy's butt? Most of them responded no, but I think they're lying. I think they just was kind of embarrassed to, discuss that they tossed salad in front of other people. They probably was ashamed to do it. Then they asked who was the four best sex partners. a lot of them skipped that question, and some of them just kind of responded their man name. But it wasn't really much going on. Basically, after that, that was just basically it. But the next YouTuber I wanted to talk about is Britney from Marshall's Party of Five. I like Britney, and I like Britney because she's a hardworking woman. She holds down a full-time job as an auditor at a movie company, and she also does YouTube full-time. She hustles. She drops a video like almost every single day. In addition to that, she started her own business customizing t-shirts for different occasions. She's married to a wonderful man named Fortune, and they met while they were in college. She was a freshman in college. I think he's like a couple of years older than her, and they fell in love, and they basically been together ever since. And then they had their son, their first child together. His name is Wealth, and he's almost 5. And then they got married, I think, in like 2015. And then they went on to have a set of twin boys, which their names are Truth and Sincere, and they're like almost 3. I like her because she's driven as far as her career, and she's all into her husband. I love their love. Like, they really hold each other down. He has her back. And I just like the way that they are together. I think they really make a really cute couple. They're also very social. They're always going out, on family outings with her and the kids, and sometimes with her and her family. It's mostly, you mostly see them with her and her family. Every now and again, you might see him with his mom, and his sisters might come around, or they might go to Alabama to visit his dad. But for the most part, it's usually him, and her side of the family. I also like the fact that they keep their romance alive by taking trips out of the country together, and they go on a lot of date nights. I think it's important to go on date nights because I think it keeps the romance in your relationship. Because after a while, if you be with a person for a long time, the relationship could get boring and stale because a lot of things it's monotonous and boring. So every once in a while, you have to dress up and go out on dates just to kind of remind your spouse, what you fell in love with that person for, just to keep things spicy in the romance department. I like the way she keeps herself up. She's really into fashion. She dresses her behind off. She's always nicely put together. Her makeup and hair, she's, is always done. She always got her lashes and nails and stuff done. She likes to wear the press-ons and stuff like that. I also think it's important to keep up with yourself and, your appearance as a woman, especially when you've been with your significant other for a long time. Because, there's a lot of women out there in the world, and you just want him to come home and like what he sees when he comes home to you, if you know what I'm saying. I brought Britney up because I was introduced to her through Keisha Kaylee. They were very good friends at one point in time. Keisha planned her and Fortune's gender reveal party when she was pregnant with her set of twins. Unfortunately, they had a falling out over a video that Britney did about Keisha and Jeremy on her channel. So basically what happened was, Keisha found out that Jeremy had an outside baby by another woman, a girl by the name of Ashley. Jeremy met her because she was a bottle girl at a club that he had went out with his friends. He had went out with his friends for a boys' day or whatever the case may be. And he met her, and they started messing around behind Keisha Kaylee's back. She ended up getting pregnant, and she ended up keeping a baby. And Keisha basically found out about it, and she flipped out. Like any other woman would. If you found out that your man is cheating on you, you're going to flip out. And especially if he had an outside kid while you were still together, not even broken up on a break, nothing. Just while y'all still was together, this dude smiling in your face and got a whole child by another chick and didn't tell you nothing about it. I would be pissed. Okay? So I can understand Keisha on that. So basically, her and the girl started really beefing on social media. And she wasn't a YouTuber at first, but Keisha, was dragging the girl because Keisha is a high profile YouTuber. She has a very big following, and she was just talking crap about this girl. So the girl had to start a YouTube channel so that she can give her side of the story and explain and, basically defend herself. So while Keisha and the girl Ashley was beefing over Jeremy or whatever, Britney, of course, being a friend, if that's your best friend, you're going to want to defend your friend. So Keisha asked her to kind of discuss what happened on her channel, and Britney agreed to do it, which me personally, I honestly feel that Britney should have stayed out of that, because I know how Keisha is, and I kind of felt that it was going to be some type of drama behind that. So I kind of wish that Britney would have stayed out of that. But deep down inside, I feel that, I don't know if there's some type of secret competition going on between the two of them, even though they're two different channels to me. But sometimes you could be friends with somebody and your friends could be in competition with you and you might not even know about it. But I think in that situation, it being as though it was so delicate, I think that Britney should have stayed out of it. But somewhere along the line, what I was trying to say is, I think that they might have, the friendship, I think it would have had an expiration date. Because Keisha seemed like she kind of moved funny with her friends like that any type of way. But anyway, getting back into what I was talking about, Britney wanted to defend her friend, so she went on her own channel, which is Marshall's Party of Five, to discuss the matter on her channel with Keisha's approval. Keep that in mind. I watched the video, and in my opinion, and other people stated the same thing. That I don't really feel that Keisha said, I mean, not Keisha, but Britney said anything bad about the situation. But Jeremy watched it, and he got offended by some of the stuff that Britney said on her vlog. And of course, Keisha sided with him because that's her man. That's the dude that she lay up with. Even though he dogs her out and everything, she still sided with him. Even though she was okay with with Britney discussing it, I felt that was kind of two-faced on her part. So basically, they fell out and stopped speaking to each other because of that. But my question to you guys are, has any of you ever fell out with one of your friends because their boyfriend or husband didn't like you? If you feel comfortable, then you can drop down in the comment section and, talk about it. If not, you can just drop a comment, about anything that you want to talk about, and that's fine with me. Me personally, I have fallen out with a close friend of mine over a situation like that. Me and her fiance, we were cool, but he got mad at me and she got mad at me because at that particular time, she was really getting really close with the next door neighbor or whatever case may be. So I guess you can kind of understand where this is going. So her and the neighbor became very cool, and the lady used to always come over to her house and hang out with her, and they used to hang out and just go places and do things together. But I met her and I felt that I felt a little uneasy about her because I felt that I didn't like the idea of her always being, she was just a little bit too friendly. You know what I mean? By like, she was just always laughing in her fiance's face too much. She was always like touching on him, and she was just too touchy-feely. And I don't, me personally, maybe everybody else is different when it comes down to their guy, but I don't really like that. You can drop down and leave a comment and tell me if you feel that I'm wrong for feeling like that. But I don't really like that. She was just too friendly with him. And another thing that I didn't like too was the fact that a lot of times I told my girlfriend, I said, you got to stop this chick from coming over your house when you're not home. Me personally, maybe I follow an old school protocol, but I was always taught that you don't ever allow another woman in your home around your man when you're not at home, and vice versa. Even if it's another dude, shouldn't be, a man shouldn't be in your house unless it's like your dad or like your brother or somebody that he's aware of. But as far as other men, they shouldn't be in your home, or women, when you're not there. And a lot of times she would come home and that woman would be just hanging out with her fiance while she's not home. And I told her, I said, girl, you got to put a stop to that. But she didn't feel threatened by her because the woman wasn't really attractive as far as physical features. So I guess she didn't really feel that she was a threat to her. And she was basing that on looks. But obviously it was something about her that he liked, because he started sneaking around behind my friend's back. And I found out about it because my husband and I, who was my boyfriend at that particular time, we had went to a mall up when we were living in North Jersey. And I happened to see them. I saw them holding hands. And I spotted them before they spotted us. And then once they saw us, he tried to drop her hand and act like they wasn't holding hands, but they were really lovey-dovey. Like they looked like they were a couple, the neighbor and my friend's fiance. So, me being a friend, and this is when I was like much younger. I mean, I don't know how I would handle the situation now, because relationships are very delicate. You could be trying to do the right thing by somebody. Like that's what I tried to do. I went home and I told her, what happened. But back during this particular time, cell phones wasn't really popping like that. As far as like the camera phones was concerned. I mean, they did have cell phones, but they didn't have like the cameras built into them like they have now. So it's not like I could have took a picture and like, presented it to her when I told her that. So she basically was like a ride or die chick for her dude. Like this dude, in her opinion, could do no wrong. So I didn't really have a leg to stand on. Like it was just basically my word against his word. And his word obviously stood stronger than mine, because she took his word over mine and dissolved our friendship over it. And all I was trying to do was trying to help. I didn't tell her to break up with the dude, but I was just basically trying to let her know, hey, listen, hey, he's messing around with the next door neighbor and you need to keep an eye on that chick. But needless to say, she pretty much stayed in a relationship with him, and he just kept dogging her out with different people. Like, I would still see him out with not only the neighbor, but with other chicks too. He just ain't have no respect for her. But her relationship with him obviously was a little bit more important to her than our friendship. I guess it meant more to me than it meant to her. So that's just what it was. That's why I try at this point to stay out of people's relationship business, because relationships can be tricky like that. People can fall out with each other, and then the guy just has that type of hold, like where he could just whisper sweet nothings into your ear, screw you down real good, and toss you around in the bedroom all kinds of ways. And then next thing you know, they back together lovey-dovey, and then you out in the cold and you don't lost your friend. So yeah. But basically, I hope that Keisha and Britney are able to restore their friendship with each other, because they were really, really, really good friends. I mean, I really, really like their friendship. But let me know if you've ever experienced losing a friend over a cheating partner, or just maybe not necessarily a cheating partner, just maybe over the fact that maybe their significant other simply just didn't like you for whatever reason, and they decided to stop being your friend because their significant other didn't like you. Were you able to recover your friendship with that friend, or did it dissolve? You can leave your comment down below if you feel comfortable sharing that with me. And that will conclude today's episode of Miss Panda Talk Time. Thank you for listening to me. And don't forget to hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever Miss Panda Talk Time drops another video. Thank you for listening, and have a good day, and be blessed.